What's up, my friends? How you doing? The weekend has arrived. Hope you're having a good time so far. Today's been pretty chill for me. Let's go ahead and share the live stream link. Guess it's as chill as it can be while I'm still unfortunately a little bit sick, but it seems like I'm getting better, so whatever. Okay, here we go. Share that link. All right. Okay, there we go. That's good. Excellent. So now that that's done, let us say our hellos. Hello, what's up? Wait, why is the chat acting all weird like that? That's strange. And okay, there we go. It stopped. What up, Rays, Kenzuki, Micah, Felonious T, Zircon, Teferi, Milkmaster, Error, Gossett, Teferi, I think, Adam, I think that's everybody who said hello in the chat. Hello to you guys. Hello to assembled lurkers. Hope your weekend is going well. Gotta moisten my mouth hole. So I went down to the LGS today, and they were doing a what is it called? Altered TCG like preview event basically. So the game store I go to is part of the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, promotional tour, whatevs. Well, I mean, it's not like people from the company are traveling around, right? But they sent out like beginner stuff that will like show you how to play the game, but ultimately doesn't what is it? The cards are like QR cards, right? You can scan them into your collection. The stuff for this event you can't scan into your collection. So it's just like, basically they sent it like unscannable. They sent it without like deck boxes and everything because they want the game stores to play with the stuff instead of trying to like flip it on eBay or whatever else. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that much about the game. I got to the event kind of late. So most of the people who were playing had already played and I guess departed. So I didn't end up playing. I just looked at some of the stuff. And I mean, from a surface inspection, it looks all right, but I don't know how the gameplay actually is. Adam, you can try and trick your kids into playing Magic with cute animals. It could work. It could work. What up, Jess? What's up, Vince? What's going on, C-Train? Hello, Justin. You love that I have such a great knowledge of the lore and never caught a stream before? Well, look at you, Rhymy boy. I am a huge Magic the Gathering fan. So yeah, I have absorbed a ridiculous amount of Magic the Gathering lore and useless knowledge that if Wizards successfully bludgeons this game into a pulp on the roadside, won't be as useful in everyday life, but it won't stop me from enjoying it. Oh, you guys are getting into political stuff. Leave me out of it. Whatever it is, I don't really care. Wait, what? Oh, okay, all right. That doesn't look like your run-of-the-mill political stuff. That's pretty wild. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know anything about it. So I'm not really gonna go into it further. But yeah, if craziness is afoot, I can see why people are talking about it. But for me, politics, especially the politics of other countries, aren't terribly interesting, you know? Oh, I thought there was something on my shirt, but it turns out there's just a little speck on my computer screen. But I got to check because legit earlier I had like a chunk of potato on my sleeve, like a big chunk. I looked over and was like, what the, how did that even get there? What up, Hepster? How you doing? Feel better? That's the plan. That is the plan, my man. Every day, I don't know if I said hello to you. So, hello, buddy. How's it going? How's it going? C-Train, I have no idea how Canada's reporting what's going down in the States. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about me. I don't watch the news. I actively avoid like looking at any news stuff or political stuff on Twitter because guess what? The news is always bad. It's always shitty. You should be afraid. You should be unhappy. Life's always going to be the worst. So I don't waste my time with it because it's all just miserable bullshit that's designed to make you afraid and sad. So whatevs, bro. Whatevs. I have literally no clue what's going on in the world overall. And that's the way I like it. It's not going to affect my fucking life. I'm not going to affect it. Why waste my time on it? I'd rather read a fantasy novel than read about what's going on with other countries' political nonsense, right? 100%. 100%. Justin, you believe Bloomburrow is going to be a huge hit? It's going to overshadow how bad Assassin's Creed is just going to be a blip in the rearview mirror, right? Like, it's sandwiched between Modern Horizons 3 and Bloomburrow. So, whatevs. Whatevs. Vince, I don't care about sports either. So whatever you're even talking about, whatever game that they internationally, oh, Canada won a game or scored a goal against some other team. I don't care about sports either, for real. I don't care about politics. I don't care about sports. I don't care about tragic world events. I'm interested in interesting advancements that help people out overall. That's way more fascinating to me. I'm interested in funny stuff. I'm interested in cool stuff that's going on in the world. There's a million places that you can go to talk about all the doom and gloom and politics. It is very assuredly covered by many, many people. So I don't need to worry about it. Adam, you think Bloomburrow is going to be a set that will only be good in and of itself? Well, I mean, they do have a lot of tribal stuff that cares specifically about like particular creature types. They have expanded it out to like 4 different creature types per card. So there is that, right? But also a lot of the tribes already pre-exist. So there's a bunch of stuff that they can be used with. So it is somewhat parasitic, but I don't think that Bloomburrow is only going to be good with itself because, I mean, first of all, let's be very clear. The power creep in this game is making it so that pretty much every set is going to have some wild, bonkers, banana nonsense going on. 100%. 100%. What up, DJ Sombrero? How you doing? BB, you're wondering on the Bloomburrow Jace card, the expansion symbols from the Commander set. They've changed things now. What they're doing is that expansion symbol you see isn't the Commander expansion. It's everything that's not, it's like Bloomburrow extra cards or something. They call it something like that. So you have all the stuff that's in the main standard release and everything else, including the side sheet of cards, the Commander decks, like the buy a box card. All of them are going to use that one symbol to say it's from Bloomburrow, but not from the main set. That's how they're doing it now. Before, they were doing exactly what you're talking about. They literally used the Commander symbol on like stuff that wasn't Commander, but now it's just, this is like, I believe the first set they're doing it with. So it's a blanket change. Justin, you pre-ordered 2 collector boxes, 1 play box, and a set of all the Commander decks. Man, all right, you're going ham. That's awesome. That's awesome. Gonzo, I should do live streams where I'm just telling a story from Magic, even if I've shared it before, like a parent reading their kids a bedtime story. This guy hasn't heard about Fantasy Geographic. I got a whole channel of videos that's literally me just reading Magic the Gathering stories, like telling Magic the Gathering stories, reworded from what, like, I'm not reading it like an audiobook. I'm literally telling you the story that I've read. So their story, if it's read out loud, takes half an hour. My version takes 10 minutes because I trim out a lot of the stuff that doesn't feel like it adds much to the story, but some people might like for world building. So yeah, I've got a lore channel with like over 120 story videos on it. And somebody recently actually put a comment on there going, hey, this is like, growing up, I didn't have a dad. This is like my dad reading me stories. And I just responded back with, clean your room. Milkmaster, knowing that the next standard set is a weird 80s homage doesn't make you want to get back into standard. That's a fair position. That's a fair position. BB dumb, that's confusing. Yeah, all you'll know is if it's in the main set or not, right? So I guess they decided they only want to have like 3 expansion symbols per set, because having like 6 different expansion symbols for one set really messing people up, right? Jess, standard is just to make people buy new cards. That's your feeling? Oh yeah. Standard is supposed to be planned obsolescence to give you like, okay, you get to play with these cards for 2 years. Now get new cards. Now get new cards. Now get new cards. Wizards messed that all up, and then they went, oh, standard's 3 years. Please buy more product. It's not working. Oh, well, you know what we'll do? We'll just force rotation into modern. So you got to keep getting new stuff. So no matter what you get, it's just, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be, right? Wow, you read the story and really enjoyed it. It's basically a Redwall set. Been avoiding spoiler until you get your stuff. You want to enjoy the art and mechanics as you open the packs. Makes sense, man. You want to have that experience? I was talking with somebody today down at the LGS about how the early days of Magic were a journey of discovery, where you found the cards by talking to people who like, yo, I saw this crazy new card. And then you'd be like, what? And then one day you see it on the table, like, oh, there it is. Either through playing, trading, opening packs. It was a different vibe. That being said, in this current era, I get to share my enjoyment with way more people by making videos and talking about spoilers and all that. So there's a trade-off, right? There is a trade-off. Bo Falcon sharing the link for the story channel. Justin, it's called Fantasy Geographic. The link is right there in the chat. Every day also dropping that link. Scorpion Guy says he fixes Wizards' ham-fisted writing, grammatical mistakes, and removes needless filler. I will say the newest batch of stories didn't have actual errors when I was reading through them. They didn't have a bunch of logical inconsistencies, just like nonsensical whatever. Mostly what I did was just trim out a bunch of like, okay, so Mabel's at home and her kids are there. And so then there's a whole bunch of Mabel's kids doing stuff in the kitchen. And like, it's just a bunch of characters doing stuff that doesn't really matter and doesn't move the story forwards. But if you want the maximum amount of flavor from the world, then you can listen to that part, right? You'll get to hear maybe about a couple of different foods that they eat, or like the particular dispositions of some of Mabel's children. But for me, that is boring and irrelevant. So I just go through and go, what's all the interesting stuff that actually makes up the story, right? I'm going to give you the meat. The potatoes you can go and pick up for yourself, right? If I had to pick one pre-con commander deck from Bloomburrow, what would I roll with? I haven't looked at the different decks yet. Actually, I think I've seen them on the surface. So I'd have to go over them in a little more detail, I suppose, to figure that out. And I do want to look at everything from the set, but the reality is I have been under the weather, and when you don't feel well, it impacts your mind state, and I've just been kind of only somewhat looking at some of the Bloomburrow stuff because I can't help myself. All like when you get up and go to the washroom in the morning, grab the phone, look at a few things, but overall, I haven't been doing as much deep diving because I want to fully enjoy it, right? It's been a while since I've gotten a set that I can really fully sink my teeth into, and I'm trying to maximize that. BB, you've been binging my Fantasy Geographic videos. You realize you don't actually know what happened during the Phyrexian invasion, so you started, because you started Dominaria United. Okay, yeah, you're a newcomer, like, well, relatively speaking, right? As far as I'm concerned, you are, because I started Magic 30 years ago, back in 1994. Because I'm a billion years old. I am old as the universe itself. I am crumbling time, eroding before your eyes. Oh. So yeah, I mean there's a bunch of lore there. Obviously, there's way more on the wider internet as well, right? DJ Sombrero, that's right. Fantasy Geographic is pretty good. Agreed. Agreed. Adam, Foundations is making you think about getting back into Standard. One of the main reasons I don't feel like bothering with Standard right now is the game store that I go to, they can't even get enough people for an 8-man Standard event. So I just go, meh, wee. You know, I got a cube, and I can play Standard on Arena whenever I want. I play Arena pretty much every day. I'm one level away from being a level 110 on the Thunder Junction Mastery Pass. Like, that's how much I've been playing. Because Magic's my favorite game, man. It's my favorite game. But, like, I used to maintain a big collection, constantly trading into new sets, having, like, everything available. And that changed. The pandemic changed everything. And so keeping an up-to-date collection for Standard and all that feels like a very daunting and expensive task that's beyond my means. And trying to track down the cards I need. It's before there was tons of people I could talk to and whatever, and now like things have changed. Things have changed very much for me. So like when I think of Standard, I'm like, I would like if Standard gets revitalized, then count me back in. But until that, the amount of effort and resources that have to go into it versus what I'll get back out of it, not so much. Not so much. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not getting Bloomburrow. I want a whole set of Bloomburrow. I'm going to go to the pre-release. I'm going to go and get a fucking bundle. Those two things are already assured. Bo Falcon has made that fucking happen. And then I'll see however much I have left, like store credit-wise, for more Bloomburrow stuff. I know it's not enough, like, it's enough for some loose packs, basically, is what it's going to turn into, right? Because Magic's become incredibly expensive, too. That's another difference from Standard now, is like a one booster box of Standard cards, Bloomburrow, will be $210 plus tax, right? So $210 plus tax is something like $245, $250 just for a booster box. So, like, I'm going to go in at the level that I can. What up, Heavy Metal? How you doing? Flavor, especially for food, is important. That's right, Wah. You got it. Jess says, at least you weren't so sick again you couldn't stream. True. Lewis, thanks for hoping I feel better soon, buddy. I appreciate it. Heavy Metal, you took your mom out to a $250 dinner? Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I hope you guys had a good time. And then you enjoyed time at her house with your parrots. Sweet, man. It sounds like you're living life right. I've been playing this game Moonstone Isle with Carly, and I had a ridiculous realization today that I'm playing the game. I don't know how you guys are when you play games where it's like you have a day and each day only has so many like minutes in it. And so you got to try and maximize what you can do in the day and get the best results and all that. And you don't want to waste days. I'm more interested and focused more on getting the most out of my video game characters in game day than I do out of my own day. And I'm like, you only have a limited number of days in this game. And it's like, that's like life, bro. How can you be like focused on that in the game, but not have a wider awareness of that in your actual life, right? Scorpageist, that's right. The day of 1994 when dinosaurs roamed the earth and you rode it to school backwards up a hill. What up, Doomblade? How you doing? Every day am I buying the Psychic Frog stuff? Now that is a good question. That is a good question. I am on the fence right now. I actually have a little chart, not a chart, a list on my desk of my other computer where I've been playing Arena. And it has the amount of tickets that I need for each threshold, right? So the first, like, it's like, how much to get the draft token? 300, right? Then how much to get the 8 booster packs? How much to get the 10 mythics? And it staggers upwards, right? Because I'm like, well, if you get all 10 mythics, the booster packs, and the token, then it becomes a better deal for your gems. And then after that, you move up to like sleeves and the other cosmetic stuff, which isn't as important. And I just hit 1,800 tickets in the Psychic Frog thing, which means I can get 8 packs, 10 mythic rares, and a draft token. So when you value the draft token at 1,500 gems, right, and booster packs are 200 gems a piece, that's already over 3,000 gems, but then you've got to really want the modern, because you're getting 10 rares plus 8 packs for Modern Horizons. So it depends on how much you want that stuff. So I have an excess of gems, obviously, as a free-to-play player. I have like 14,000 gems kicking around in my account. And so then that's enough to buy 3 more mastery passes, and I don't spend my gems on pretty much anything other than mastery passes. So as much as I hate it and think it's a scammy thing, I might begrudgingly get it for the resources, you know? But I'm still on the fence. Justin, Standard hasn't been fun for a decade. Oh, that's unfortunate for you, man. TC's Magic Box says Bloomburrow plus the next rotation should breathe some life back into Standard. It will be different, for sure. For sure. Lewis, Bloomburrow makes you think of Secrets of Nim. Yep, people have mentioned that for sure. DJ Sombrero says, I love watching your videos, guy, but I'm really done with Magic. If you start talking about other IPs, let me know. Hope everything goes good for you. Peace all. All right, buddy, keep your eye out on the Hatcher channel, all right? Because I will be doing more non-Magic related stuff there. Plus, there's stuff like Grand Archives that's in the works, so I will be talking about other things. For this channel, it will be predominantly Magic the Gathering, though. So you're gonna wanna maybe just not really worry about this unless you want to come to the live streams here and there, you know? Adam, you mainly play Modern. You don't think Standard has fired at your LGS in a long time, but since Land of Realms will be in Standard because of Foundations, it's the only reason you're thinking of Standard. Well, fair enough. Lasagna, didn't realize you were going to get a life lesson tonight. You did? Share with me. I'll take a life lesson. RB says the way Standard should be played is by having a living deck which evolves based on the playgroup, updated to combat weaknesses and strengths of your friends. Well, how's that a Standard deck then, though? You know what I mean? Like, because Standard events are events where you're going to play against a range of individuals, some of which who aren't going to be your friends, and some of which you might not even like. Heavy Metal Super Chat says, on behalf of Wizards of the Coast, this channel deserves support. You heard it officially from Heavy Metal, speaking on behalf of Wizards. This channel deserves support. I agree. I agree with Heavy Metal. And I agree with Wizards of the Coast, Heavy Metal being their spokesperson in this situation. All right, this marker is janked. All right, there we go. You're lower the board, big boy. Can I rotate that a little bit better? There we go. There we go. Felonious T, you finished the packs, tokens, and mythics. The styles and sleeves are gravy. You started buying the card styles with your leftover tokens. Fair enough. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm genuinely curious about your guys' opinion on the specific like breakdown. All right. Oh wait, no. Let's start Q&A, which makes no sense because that's literally like what my streams are half the time, anyways. Right. Okay. Let's see. Is it worth it to buy the frog? We'll just call it the frog deal. The frog deal for 2,800 gems, based on getting 8 packs, 10 mythics, and hold on, we gotta trim it down. Plus draft token. Oh, and exactly 100 characters, because that's how many I had. Bro, I did it perfectly. It doesn't have a question mark. But whatever. So yeah. Is it worth? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Blue Cats, what's up? How you doing? Millmaster says men need support too. Yeah, support my ball bag with your mouth, you fuck. Lasagna, the life lesson was when you were talking about video game hours being the same as actual hours. It's crazy how much I try and maximize my gameplay inside of like this very restrictive. You've got like you wake up at 6 in the morning in this game, and if you're not in bed by 2 o'clock, you collapse. You lose part of your resources. Like, or if I lose a battle and all three of my creatures get killed, then the day ends and I just lose a day. And I'm like so obsessed with trying to get everything I can out of every day. But why am I not applying that to my real life? Why am I not trying to maximize, you know what I mean? Like for real, for real. Why am I not doing that? It's insane. It's insane. RB, you mean play acquaintances. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Does Bloomburrow and Duskmorn give me hope for a better story stuff, for better stories going forwards? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Wah. 100%. Bloomburrow's story, there's nothing in it that feels really stupid. It like I was just like, oh, okay, we've got a proper story. It could be longer. The details could have like there could have been more elements to it. It felt like I got wrapped up quickly, but I'm good with it. And Duskmorn specifically. Oh, hey, Jess, thanks for the super chat. Bike got stolen, then I find a bike in the alley. Oh, that's crazy. The universe gave you a bike, bro. I actually had I got a really cool cruiser bike because I love the cruisers with the big fucking like white walled tires and the chrome and shit. I love that. That's so cool. So me and my girlfriend at the time got matching cruiser bikes, which was awesome. But then some dickhead stole mine. And I was like, oh, this sucks. This sucks. My bike got stolen. I love that bike. And then when I was living in Toronto, like a year and a half later, like 2 fucking doors down from the apartment building I lived in, somebody had just put one out on the curb with the fucking trash. And I looked at it and I'm like, this thing's just rusty and the tires are flat. It's like in perfect condition. Like there was just a bit of rust on it. It was literally the exact same cruiser bike that I had. Like not mine. I actually know who had mine because it got sold. It got sold to a bike shop who then sold it to this guy who's a totally chill dude. But when I saw it, I knew it was my bike from the fucking rust and scratches that were on it. But anyways, I found the exact same bike in Toronto. It was amazing. And I'm pretty sure that I used Coca-Cola to scrape the rust off. Like Coca-Cola and tinfoil, I think, is what did it. Not 100% sure. So either way, the circle of bikes. Now you get to put your butt on a different one. That's what I like to do. Hey, TC's Magic Box. Thanks for the super chat. It says, with Modern Horizons 3 out, which deck do you think is worth Bant Nadu or Ruby Storm? I mean, bro, Nadu is like obnoxious. Let's be very real. No, I think Nadu is way higher on the annoyance scale. Like when you have to sit there and just hold your dick while your opponent plays Magic for a while, it's not a good time. It's not fun sitting there while they fucking dirtle themselves for like 5 fucking minutes or whatever. And another trigger, and another trigger, and another trigger, and another trigger. I'm gonna take that Shuko and cram it all the way up your ass, bro. Like, Breakstop says, I feel like you hit a point of diminishing. What are we talking about? Because I'm not sure what you're referencing here, bro. You talking to... I don't know. What up, Drumium? How's it going? How's it going? Heavy Metal says, as Marcial usurped Lord Ith, I'm not a real representative of Wizards of the Coast, but I decided to super chat on their behalf until they sue me to some obscure plane in the multiverse. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, the Hepster Super Chat says LMAO! Oh, what's that? It's Chirp of the Year about the balls. You like that? Well, thanks for the Super Chat. I'm glad that it was out of laughter because I love making people laugh. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Lewis, you feel like they spent a lot of time on the characters and the strengths and weaknesses of all the animal folk of Bloomburrow and the villain creatures were an afterthought? Yeah, like the fact that we didn't see Cruel Claw until after we're just like, Glarb's like, I'm the big bad. Yo, bro, we're supposed to encounter the mid bad. Like, you missed a step. You showed us the little bad with the necromancers down by the waterside. And then you just kind of went, oh, Cruel Claw, hear about this or something, I guess. Okay, bye. And then we're like, okay, so Cruel Claw's the next step, right? Maybe he's the big end villain. But then what's happened? You're supposed to encounter Cruel Claw, and it's like, nah, son, nah. Guess what? I actually work for somebody else, but you'll never know. Poof, smoke bomb from Assassin's Creed, bye. And then we go, oh, Glarb, you gotta be careful. Cruel Claw's out there and he's evil and he's part of a bigger plan. He stole the egg. We almost stopped him. He had the egg and we almost stopped him. And then Glarb would be like, I'm glad that you didn't. And your lives end here, cause I'm feeling fucking froggy, right? And then you have the Glarbification. Doomblade Super Chat says, which sets are supposed to rotate? And I asked my coworker out and they said yes. Her voice kind of threw me off, but she's very hot. I wouldn't recommend telling her that her voice throws you off, buddy. You can totally put your hand over a chick's mouth when you're giving it to her to stop her from making sounds that you don't like, you know? Like, there was this one chick who liked to speak in, like, essentially run-on sentences. And it's like, bitch, if you think I'm listening to the never-ending story come out of your mouth during, like, this, no. Stop it. Stop it. Just shut. Okay, hand on the mouth. We're good now. That's... Shh. Hush. Heavy Metal Super Chat says, however, I Super Chat as though I have the cash flow of Wizards of the Coast. Please name as Watsy. All right, you want Watsy on the board? You got it. You got it. Drumium, you hurt your foot last night and now you're barely walking? That sucks, man. I remember there was a good 3 months where my foot was like totally screwed up and it really just stomping around sucked, bro. It sucked a fat bag. So I feel for you. Damn it, I'm doing it again. Hold on. He wants Wizards on here. I was going to write Heavy Metal. There you go. What? You think the story wrapped a bit too early, but baby steps for better stories? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's an alright perspective. What up, Shotter? What up, Keegan? Doomblade, I didn't answer your question. Oh, what's that just supposed to rotate? Oh, who cares, man? You're gonna get upset, bro. I just gave you super useful fucking life advice about plowing bitches. And you're gonna waste my time with something you can fucking Google up and go, what's rotating? This is what's rotating, and it's happening right now. How about that, you fucking cock smoker? How about that? How you fucking like me now? They changed the standard rotation, so I think it's just the Kamigawa, Streets of New Capenna, and the Innistrad sets, right? Like the 3 Innistrad, no, it's, well, 2 and double feature is the same thing. Oh, there you go. Look, Felonious T was kind enough to put it in the chat for you, too. Good job, Felonious T. It looks like we both think the same things are rotating, so that's good. With Standard not being relevant to me anymore, and Wizards abruptly changing it to 3 years, I literally didn't know 100% what was rotating. I'm like, I know the renewal happens on Arena with Bloomburrow soon, but like... Nomeo, you think Bloomburrow is definitely more than 40% slush art? I honestly haven't seen that much that feels like slush art to me. Like, slush art tends to stand out. Like, what is it? There's this, I think it's probably right on top, maybe. There's this token. Oh, where'd it go? I guess it's not on top. Oh, well. There's like a token that I had from Markov Manor where it's straight up, you can tell it's Kaladesh, right? Like, for somebody who knows the worlds and all the stuff that they're doing, it is disappointing. Where it's just like, yo, I can tell this is this world and it doesn't fit. Like, no, but the detectives use these thopters because we got this artwork kicking around. Nothing I've seen in Bloomburrow has felt too jarring. I mean, if the Red Season artwork wasn't originally supposed to be, but I feel like it was. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's not a lot that screams obvious slush art to me, because the reality is Wizards has put slush art into tons of sets. Like tons of sets. It's only jarring when they put in no effort for it, right? Like when they put Narset on Ikoria by just painting in the crystals to match the landscape of Ikoria when she's clearly on Tarkir. That's fine, right? But take what is her name, Eartha Joe or something like that, which is, anyways, she's like, it's a core who's climbing down a cliff. It's clearly Zendikar, and there's somebody in the background and they just painted a silhouette of a cowboy hat on him, and it's just like, see, it's Thunder Junction. And it's like, no, it's not. This is Zendikar. It's very obviously Zendikar, and you put no effort in. Like, there's so much of that. We painted hats on them and they look way too big and glumpy because it's just somebody adding it afterwards. Shotter, you're right. You're right. The trailer for Bloomburrow, the animated like cartoon trailer for Bloomburrow, is great. And it doesn't feel like contradictory to what's going on in the story in the same way that, for example, the Ikoria trailer did, where they had Vivian, I don't give a damn, and she's all running around shooting animals, like shooting monsters, and then all of a sudden the crystals glow and like the monsters come back bigger and badder. That doesn't happen. That's not what the crystals do. There's some dude talking to people through the crystals. We've never been told who, by the way. We've never been told who the crystal guy who talked to Luca through the crystal was. And Luca's obviously just been thrown on the dog meat pile. Luca got such a raw deal because Luca was originally a bonder from Wilds of Eldraine, or from Throne of Eldraine Part 2. Not Wilds of Eldraine. Throne of Eldraine was supposed to be 2 sets. That's not correct. Throne of Eldraine was supposed to be followed up by another Eldraine set. It was supposed to be a block of 2 sets. And the first one was Man versus the Wilds. And with the whole elf, the elf has basically, they're on the great hunt to take down the High King who's been transformed into a stag by Oko. Like, the Eldraine story is one of the best bits of lore in recent Magic history. Pretty enjoyable with some fun concepts that I was not expecting. Like the hex-blooded Kenriths sharing a single spark, all that kind of stuff. Really cool. So the second one was supposed to be Man versus the Wilds, but also Man teaming up with the Wilds. And so the creatures that we see as bonders in Ikoria were actually assets from Throne of Eldraine 2 that were repurposed. And so you have insane concepts where the written story, like the artwork showed Luca and his pet tiger, right? Where he's literally dyed his hair to match it and everything like that. It shows them together, right? And like in one, they're even like the affection between them is evident. It is evident in the artwork, right? So when you read the actual story for Ikoria, it's a mind fuck because you walk in with a couple of facts that you know. One is that Luca's a bonder who loves his fucking cat beast, right? Like that's what that is. You know it for a fact. So, Hepster, what's slush art? Slush art is artwork that was previously commissioned for another Magic set, wasn't used, so they've already paid for the artwork, but it doesn't have a home. So it sits there basically being a cost they haven't made any money back off of. So what they do is they try and find opportunities to use slush art. It's like, oh, we're going to this particular plane. Do we have anything in the art that would match the world already with maybe some few tweaks to the artwork? And then they would slide that into a set comfortably. The best place for slush art is when it's a set like Modern Horizons 3, which has no story and draws from everywhere and every time. You could just use whatever art you have kicking around. It doesn't matter if it's slush art, because you're not betraying a story. It's not like, yo, what the hell is going on here with the slush art? Like, they used slush art in Throne of Eldraine, where Garruk's losing his curse. And in the story, Garruk loses his curse when he's unconscious and drowning in the Cauldron of Eternities. Literally is so cursed that it consumes Garruk's curse. Garruk's curse is weaker than it, so it eats. The fucking thing is so cursed that it hungers, I guess, for other curses, absorbs the essence of Garruk's curse into himself. But in the artwork for Garruk getting rid of his curse, it actually shows him like in this pose, like he's standing there screaming and it's coming out. So there's no, like, that's the use of slush art, right? And a little bit of it in the set won't really break things. It's not too bad. If they do things like they did with, when they made New Capenna, they made a crime set where they have 5 crime families. But then because of politics and what people were saying on Twitter, they didn't want to put policemen in their set because they were afraid of the backlash. So they took out all the policemen from the Capenna set, right? So now they have a huge wad of Capenna slush art that all are wearing 1920 style fashion, hats and coats, right? So the edict comes down from on high saying, you got to use this slush art or something like that. And so now they have to take all of these things that were supposed to be police in Capenna, and they're inserting them into Ravnica. That's what Murders at Karlov Manor is. It is completely ruined by them taking all of these Capennan detectives. They weren't, well, they're detectives as in policemen, right? And they put them into Ravnica. But here's the thing. Ravnica already has a perfectly functioning law and order system with Boros as the police force, who are quite capable. And then the jailers and like judges and stuff are Azorius. So they have a complete system that works. There's no reason for there to be detectives. And the detectives have to rush to a crime scene before the Boros get there to try and solve it. They have to hand their prisoners off to the Boros or the Azorius. Like, it's this, there's no reason for it. So now you have all these dudes in 1920s get up, and to try and make it seem like it was always Ravnica, then they go and take slush art from Ravnica, like the 10th district champion or whatever it is. She's shown in like a Boros fedora and Boros like coat and whatever. But like, that's not what her original art was. There's a steam elemental flying high above Ravnica. It's got a fucking like a fedora on, and they have vampires jumping down from Orzhov basilicas with a bowler hat on, but they weren't wearing those in the original art. Those were painted in afterwards to try and tie using Ravnica slush art and Capenna slush art. They went so heavy. They probably, somebody at a higher level went, yo, we save a lot of money using slush art for Modern Horizons 3 and stuff. Why aren't we doing this for more sets? And then the people were like, well, because it doesn't fit with the flavor of the world. I don't care about that. Here's a new edict. You have to use this percentage of slush art. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Hey, Doomblade Super Chat says, I also know what else is rotating. The ghosts toning your ass and shuffling around your cards when you're not looking and knocking down your wife's makeup. Listen, if ghosts want to tone my ass so I don't have to work, I'm cool with that, buddy. Thanks for the Super Chat. So the whole thing of like Markov Manor was a crazy amount of slush art. Thunder Junction probably had an assload of slush art too, because they could easily just paint cowboy hats and thunder blasters and coats and stuff on people. Or they legit just like actually asked for that much stupid stuff with cowboy hats. But like, when it came to Ikoria, we know that Luca, from the artwork, we know that Luca and the cat are fast friends. They love each other. So when the story starts out, I think they're doing something really cool, because Luca is the captain of the guard at this, one of the biggest cities. And there's only a few cities. So if you get exiled from the city, you're fucked, right? Everything out around it is the equivalent of wastelands filled with gigantic monsters. It's not wasteland like the biome type, like you have different kinds of life, but it's wastelands in terms of you're gonna die if you're out there kind of deal, right? So in this city, right, this manticore cat kind of deal, a winged cat essentially, ends up flying into the city and smashing into one of the buildings. Luca is the captain of a guard unit in this city. He's sent to investigate. When he gets there, the cat leaps out and immediately fucks up one of his men, tears it apart, just kills one of his troops straight out. And then it manages to injure multiple and maybe even kill some more. But either way, it does serious damage to his troops. And when he encounters it, this magic just wha-cha-chow snaps out and creates a bond between them. So this is being known as a bonder, right? Where you've bonded with one of the wild monsters of Ikoria. Nobody knows why this process happens, how this process happens, but they basically gain an awareness of each other. And so Luca basically drives the cat off, but he's got a big problem because it's illegal to be a bonder in this city. All bonders are arrested or expelled from the city. So now he is captain of a guard who is like has an illegal bond going on, and he's also basically engaged to the daughter of the dude in charge of the entire city. It's got like a military leadership. So now he's a bonder, and events conspire where he basically has to flee the city, right? So you just go, whoa, this is all right. This is interesting. Where are we going with this? Story progresses, and Luca still hates the cat, right? So you think, like, it makes sense. He's angry at the cat because it killed his troops and changed his life, cost him the relationship he was going to have, all of this stuff, right? It led to a whole bunch of problems. So throughout the story, you're like, wow, so he's going to overcome this and learn to love the cat, and they're going to become friends because that's what I've seen on the cards. And then what happens? The cat ends up being executed at a certain part in the story. Luca hates the cat through the entire story, and then the cat dies. And you're just like, but no, that's not what it told me. It's crazy. It's crazy. What up, Tectonic? How you doing, buddy? So yeah, it's I like it when everything ties together and makes sense, right? That's how I like things to be. The less you have of that, the less connected I feel overall to the set. So I'm not somebody who hates slush art, but it needs to be applied properly. Use it in your reprint sets, use it in your modern Horizon sets, but when it comes to worlds, the more that, like, that's what destroyed Karlov Manor. Karlov Manor wasn't about like having a good story. Karlov Manor existed for a clue tie-in, so it had to be a mystery theme, and it existed to use up all that slush art. And they forced so much, like, when you put so much slush art into a set that you have to fundamentally alter the structure of your storytelling because of it, in terms of like, okay, the story for this set has to take into account the fact that we're using all this slush art, right? That is not good. That is not good. We'll do a murder mystery with all the Lords of Ravnica and stuff because we have a lot of Ravnica Lords artwork kicking around. That's it. That's it. So it's gotta have a murder mystery aspect to it, and you have to have a bunch of detectives involved, and you have to have a bunch of like legendary dudes from Ravnica involved because we're using this artwork up. And so they stapled it together to see if they could make something like that work, and it failed miserably. It is a very poor product that is still being passed over to this day. Brent, yeah, what mystery, really? It wasn't it wasn't good as a murder mystery. It wasn't good as a like random story. The set is just wonky and disconnected, and everybody can feel it going through the packs. You can literally feel it. BB, you haven't seen the Fantasy Geographic videos for Strixhaven, but do they at least use Luca well in that story? Luca yeah, Luca he still doesn't do much, honestly, but they've upgraded his power capabilities and they change his power set a little bit, but in a way that doesn't like. As far as I remember, now maybe I'm remembering wrong, but as far as I remember, it didn't feel like it made it like contradicted. It could just be viewed as the next iteration of his ability as he gained more confidence over it. I don't know. He does have like a pivotal role in what happens at Strixhaven. So there is that. But like I thought Luca was supposed to be a hero and they just turn him into a villain in the Ikoria story, and then in Strixhaven he does villainous stuff, and then he becomes a Phyrexian, and then he dies. That's not in the Strixhaven part, that's later on. Will we have a battleship set or Monopoly? Totally possible. Totally possible. Any Hasbro property, it's possible. Doomblade, Ikoria, you're correct. Ikoria was where Universe Beyond came in. So word came down from on high that they were going to be changing up the production schedule, and they had to scrap the second Throne of Eldraine because they were making a Godzilla set. That was it. Like, the Godzilla tie-in is the whole reason that Ikoria exists. It's the whole reason they called Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. Lair of Behemoths means, like, home of the Giganto creatures. But the reality is the set had 4 big creatures, and they wanted you to think, like, oh, the creatures mutate into bigger versions. But they don't, really. And even the bigger versions, wow, this 1/1 mutated into a 3/4. Like, the mutations didn't keep growing the creatures into much bigger, crazier things. And the only reason they called it Lair of Behemoths was so that it would make sense that it had a Godzilla tie-in. That's it. That's it. So that was the beginning of the ridiculousness. That was the beginning. All right. Intermission. Time to go and strangle your dongs. Well, I mean, for leakage. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Whatever. Intermission. Don't be a dink! Use my Amazon link! When Hatcher goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link! Don't be a bitch! You gotta scratch that itch! Bookmark that Amazon link! I got fucking bills to pay, y'all! Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatcher goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatcher goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. All right, I'm back. What's up? How's it going? Did I have anything more to say about that lore stuff? Nope. No, I do not. Some you want a Thundercats tie-in. Bro, anything's possible. I feel like anything is possible now in the world of Magic the Gathering. I can't rule anything out. Like, they've alienated a lot of their old school players with things like Magic 30 and then all the weird Universe Beyond stuff. But the reality is, we're only going to go further and further down this road because everything that you hear from people like Mark Rosewater, like what was the most recent thing? That Fallout and Warhammer 40K are their most successful commander decks ever. So, Commander's their biggest format, and their most successful decks ever are Universe Beyond. What conclusion do you draw from that, right? They did Princess Bride. That's pretty sweet. Oh, yeah. The thing is, there's a bunch of awesome secret layers that are Universe Beyond 100%. And I dig it. But it also dilutes the overall, like, IP of Magic the Gathering. And for some people, that's a big deal. Like, big enough for them to walk. I got to be honest. I don't know what my view would 100% be if I didn't do all of this. Like, if I just played Magic and never got into doing YouTube talking about it and whatever and getting involved on this other extra level, would Magic have changed enough already that I would have just straight up bailed? I don't know. I mean, I don't like the flavor of Thunder Junction, but yet I'm playing with a bunch of cards from it. I played in the events for it. Like, I got the whole Mastery Pass. I feed my little horse. I'm just enjoying myself. So the aspects that I don't like don't stop Magic from being a lot of fun for me. So even though they keep putting new weird skins on it that aren't my top choice, I'm still just mostly enjoying myself. I just feel like the company's made a lot of short-sighted decisions that's eroding the player base overall, and I don't know, man. Like, if Arena didn't do so much damage to, like, in-store play and stuff, and maybe if they eased up on the greed tactics instead of just constantly cranking the price of products because Hasbro needs money and not because of any genuine improvements to the game. Like, the game is insanely power crept now, and the cards are of very poor quality, and the prices are higher than they should be. Like, Magic isn't making healthy choices for the long term of the game, and there's other things that are not good for the game in terms of just younger generations are going to care less and less about this kind of stuff, right? Like, you think that kids coming up these days are going to be like, wow, like, I want to play with a bunch of fiddly cardboard. It's like they have smartphones, tablets, and who knows, whatever kind of, they're going to have eyeball implants and stuff. Like, there's no real competition, right? Like, somebody said to me today, it's like, well, all things kind of come back around. And I'm like, great. You mean like vinyl records where you can just find some hipster douchebags who have a collection? Some trust fund babies are going to have, whoa, check it out. I play Magic cards with it. Check it out. They're just printed cards. They don't do nothing. They don't take power. I got a box of them. Like, Magic's special in the physical realm. In the digital realm, Magic's just another cash grabby, like, mobile game that isn't that amazing, right? More people are interested in playing stuff like Marvel Snap. Like, Arena isn't this amazing, we're dominating in the digital sphere, because Wizards is a fucking ignorant company that just because it's Magic, it's amazing and it's worth more. Like, they instilled that value into the guy who was in charge of developing Arena. He didn't work for the company before, but just the arrogance that was coming off the interview with him, well, of course this game will cost more than other games because it's Magic the Gathering. And it's like, yo, they're not Magic cards. They're little fucking digital images. So no, fuck you, right? Like, it's a scam. I refuse to spend a penny on Arena. Like, I will not spend any money. I'll play it as a free-to-play player because I like playing Magic and having a good time. I'm not giving them money for that bullshit, you know? Here Lies West. You're waiting for the Final Fantasy set? I'm hoping that'll be good. I'm hoping that'll be fun. Lewis, do I play D&D? I have played D&D in the past, and you're correct. I'm awesome at being a DM. I'm great at doing the modules. I'm also great. I tend to make my own epic campaigns, right? So they turn out to be a lot of fun because I will shamelessly steal awesome concepts from all kinds of different places, put my own spin on it, make my own stuff too, and make a whole big glorious world. Drumium, you're asking me if I'm still on a water kick? Yeah, I'm drinking predominantly water. I have had like some days I've had a cup of tea, and one day I had a can of Barks, which actually wasn't. Now that I'm not drinking all that sugar and caffeine, it feels like I'm not 100% sure what I saw in it so much anymore. But the tea, having a very barely steeped tea, I'd call it. Take a tea bag, pour the hot water over it, give it 2 or 3 dunks, and then you're done, and that's it. So, I mean, there's not going to be too much caffeine in that, right? So I am drinking like 99% water. What up, Code? How you doing, buddy? You heard some people buy vinyl records for the art and not to listen to? I could see that. It's not, that's not the worst, honestly. Just like retro pieces of history for the cover art and whatever, man. Lewis, you'll say Marvel Snap is more fun because Arena pisses you off. I've never played Marvel Snap. Lasagna says, speaking of Arena, look at the poll. Oh yeah, there is that poll going. 67% people. 67% of the 52 votes say no. All right. Brent says, bad DMs steal. Good DMs create original stuff. Great DMs steal. Baron, there are root beers without caffeine. Yeah, the thing is, I just really liked Bark specifically. It's not like I'm like huge into root beer per se. You know, I'm not looking for other pop. I don't need it. I don't need to drink a bunch of sugar that way. I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. A cup of tea, like the can of Barks, wasn't that great. Didn't enjoy it. Didn't feel that great afterwards. A cup of tea has just been enjoyable for me. Code, you gotta be careful of everything, man. You gotta get filters for your nose. Hipster says he's not a hipster despite his username. Collect vinyl because it sounds better than digital. Hipster. Oh, sorry, man. I'm sick. I got something in my throat. That's true. Heavy metal's right. All root beers but Barks pretty much are caffeine free. But I don't know, man. I don't need the pop. I don't need it. It's fine. It's better. It's definitely better for my skin. Sometimes when I overindulge sugar, my face gets even redder than normal, right? So. Man, I've been busting it out in Moonstone Isle. Like I said, a game where I worry about the like time frame. I've only got so many hours in the day to use. I gotta go. Trumium, am I a Moxie fan? What the hell do you mean? Jess, did I get caffeine withdrawal headaches? I think so. I had headaches for a few days, and I wasn't sure if it was the medication I was on. And then I think it was actually, it's funny you bring it up. I'm pretty sure it was today that I went, that was probably just caffeine withdrawal, you know? But yeah, I don't know. One cup of very lightly steeped tea, that's it. There's no real level of caffeine in it that seems to stop me from being able to sleep. It doesn't make you go, so I think that's where it's at for me right now. And we're going to see how it goes, because I'll actually be going to see the doctor soon enough for another scope so we can scope out my insides. Moxie's Cola? Nah. Don't even know it. Now I would only have like a sip or two of pop to try something new. And if I found something really good that I liked, then, you know, I'll allow myself one drink outside of water currently. So overall, I feel like it's been better for me. So I'm good with it. I got no complaints. I remember at first I complained about like, man, water is boring. Where's the taste? Where's the flavor? But I'm past that now. I don't think that's that way anymore. It didn't take long. It didn't take long. It's only been like 2 weeks, and I guess like I've had 3 cups of tea in total and a can of Barks aside from drinking water all month. And I'm really proud of myself. I've been doing a great job. I've been doing a great job. I'm very pleased to layer life choices that are good on top of each other. Quitting smoking, great choice. Starting to exercise, great choice. Starting to drink way more water, great choice. Starting to buy way less garbage foods. Like, me and Carly both actively. Now, we used to sometimes go and be like, let's go on a treat splurge or whatever. And then we go and spend like maybe $30 buying bags of chips and chocolate and candy and stuff. And now when we go, it's like, let's go. And we both pick what we want. And then we go and check out. And it's like $15 worth of stuff. Because we don't want nearly as much. Like, I thought today, I'm like, I feel like maybe being indulgent. And then I went, because I already have a bag of chips. I'm like, well, I got some salt and vinegar chips. I'm good. And so I went to the store and I bought a thing of Kit Kat. That's it. Kit Kat chocolate. And that's it. Just the one thing with the tiny little mini bars, you know? So that I can just eat a few and that'll last however many days. And before, you'd get like 3 of those and multiple fucking bags of chips and gummies and whatever, right? Drumium! I look more energetic? Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Code. You were asked... Your grandmother asked you to get you Coke because water is flavorless? She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Lewis, coffee's your only vice? Well, there you go. You're allowed to have one. Brent, keeping water at hand at all times has been a pretty important way to both cut food cravings and snacking, but also drink less crap. Well, that's great, man. That's great. That's excellent news. Maybe that's part of the reason I've been eating less junk this month, too. Like, there was one night where I did eat quite a bit. Jess, I think a lot of people are like that, where they take themselves for granted until something happens to their body that makes them realize, yo, I should take care of myself, right? And sometimes it can be multiple things, but I think that's a very common occurrence where you realize what you have and in some ways how fragile that can be, so you may as well take good care of it. Like, my back hurt a little bit today, just the tiniest bit, when I grabbed some mozzarella out of the fridge for Carly. Just the tiniest bit. And I felt the little twinge. And I'm like, that could be one of two things. That could be like, congratulations, you're getting older and you've unlocked a new ability. It's called back twinge, in which case, fuck you, universe. Or it's that because of the exercise I've been doing, my back is a bit stronger than it used to be. Not strong enough to not get hurt at all. But this time it only hurt like a little bit. Where it was like, ah. And like, for like maybe 1 or 2 steps afterwards, and then it just stopped. And it's like, huh, maybe that's because I've been exercising and that's helping my back. I don't know. I have noticed that things that I've been picking up feel lighter, so I know that it's having an impact, and I'm happy about it. So yeah, I guess, whatever, man. You realize, yo, what I got is worth trying to at least maintain, if not improve on. When you start to lose part of it, you're like, well, let's treat the rest of it like it matters, because it all mattered and I wasn't paying attention. That's it. You just wander through your life. It's not like you're actively thinking the opposite. You just don't think of it because there's nothing to make you think of it. Brent, trail mix and fig bars. All right, calm down, hippie. I don't know if I need your nonsense. I'm going to have salt and vinegar chips and Kit Kat tonight, all right? That's going to be my delicious treat while I either watch something or play more Moonstone Isle. I made so much progress in Moonstone Isle today, man. It's great. I really maximized the use of my days. You have multiple constrictions on how you play. You have the time frame where you have to be like sleeping for a certain part of the day, and if you don't, you get punished through the loss of some resources, which you definitely don't want. What up, Nishimoto? Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one, bro. BB, that's it. I thought I was stronger because I picked up the Assassin's Creed box. That's why. That's funny. So yeah, in this game, basically, you're like an alchemist, and there's 100 different floating isles, and you can travel from isle to isle, and you can collect up the like different moonstones that you can use to make magical objects. And there's creatures roaming the islands, and you can tame them. Like, it's kind of a Pokemon ripoff in that regard, where you capture creatures and make them fight for you. But the creatures all have their own individual deck of cards. And so when you draw, like, your deck is made up of the creatures' individual decks. You can have 3 different creatures with 3 different decks. They're all mixed together, and you draw them. And so if you lose one of the creatures in combat, you can't use his cards, but you'll still draw them. So it's, you really want to make sure you don't lose your guys. And you can upgrade the cards, and when they level up, you get to pick new cards for the deck and stuff. It's fun. It's definitely fun. It just says, dude says trail mix and fig bars, and you're calling me a hipster. Yo, don't pretend like you don't want to listen to the high fidelity of your vinyl while getting figged, right? Come on, man. You know you do. Code, better believe every single Bloomburrow pack's going to be a dopamine hit. Yeah, man. Enjoy it. It's going to be dope. It's going to be a good time. Brent, yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. There's a huge difference between being indulgent every day or just occasionally going. You occasionally go out for a nice meal or something or have a night of indulgence, that's fine. But if you continually eat a bunch of junk every day, that has negative compounding effects, right? 100%. 100%. Peace out, Drumium. Fix that foot, buddy. Heavy metal, you learned how to play the main riffs of Money for Nothing. Oh, there you go. Now you're going to get the chicks for free. Yep. The poll is staying strong at most people thinking that it's not worth it to buy the Psychic Frogs Hideaway. I'm going to make my decision at the last minute based on how many tickets that I have and if I really want it. I'll still be left with over 10,000 gems, and I only need like 3,000 some odd for the Bloomburrow Mastery Pass, of which I should get 1,200 back if it's like every other Mastery Pass. So it's only going to cost me 2,400 gems. But with Bloomburrow, I'm actually going to be actively drafting. With Thunder Junction, I did some drafts here and there to make sure that I hit the requirement of having played in a sealed event every month to get the maximum reward in terms of free boosters. But I didn't really play in very many drafts at all. So I played in the free one, I played in a quick one, and I played in a player draft. I have like 10 player draft tokens. I'll have 11 if I buy the frog thing. And then I'm going to play in a bunch of other drafts because I'm going to build the whole set of Bloomburrow on Arena through playing. Jess, yeah, I did actually hear about the hipster who complained about his photo being used without his permission. There was an article about hipsters and they used my picture without permission. And then he realized that it wasn't him. And it's like, that's ridiculous. It's oh, I'm a different douchebag than that one. Lewis, how long did it take to get that many gems? I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to get the gems, honestly, because it's been a long time since I actually built up my gems. I had been spending them down on recent sets without drafting and just building up my gold. So I have like 480,000 gold, right? And if I'd been drafting, I'd be getting gems. I'll have a better idea in Bloomburrow, but I mean, I've been playing since it came out of beta. And I did spend all my gems before on Omniscience events, but since they stopped having Omniscience events, I only spent my gems on Mastery Passes. That's it. So I kept building up a surplus, but I have no idea how long it would take you, especially considering back when I built up all my gems, you could only get gems from drafting. And now you can get gems from farming like standard or historic or other events like that. So if I ever really wanted gems, I would probably build decks for that and then just go in and plow to get gems, right? With that change, it does feel like you can play more on Arena without having to put any money in and get more gems and build it up faster. But for me, the process of playing through an entire season, spending my gold on quick drafts of the set, and then like building up the set that way led to me having more than enough gems for the next mastery pass, and they just kind of accrued like that. What up, Nathan? How you doing? The bundle that's tempting you right now is the Planeswalker one with 4 draft tokens and some gems. Well, get it, man. You work hard. You deserve to enjoy yourself, and if you're comfortable spending money on Arena, you do it, right? Like, I will not spend money on Arena. I don't have the money that I want to spend on physical Magic. I want to buy boxes of Bloomburrow. I want all that goodness. But, like, that's not happening. So I'm not going to turn around and give Wizards money for digital Arena. But since I play Magic every day on there anyways and have a ton of resources, I can just build out a set of Bloomburrow. Lewis, do I ever come to Philly Magic events in New York? I haven't yet, but it's totally possible. And like the part of Canada I'm in is pretty close to New York as well. So who knows? Who knows? Heavy Metal, Psychic Frog reminds you of Hypnotoad. There's also the new like Hypnotoad from Bloomburrow as well. Lewis, yeah, I played since beta. You don't have that kind of patience. I quit playing Arena a few times. Like, when they introduced Alchemy originally, I quit. A ton of people did. That's why when I came back, I saw they had, like, made it, like, more, you could get gems in other ways. They had to be a little more generous because they had stinged too hard. And that's when they started selling wild cards straight up for money because they were just like, okay, all right, we've got to make changes here because our model's breaking and Alchemy screwed things up. So I bounced in Alchemy, and other times when it was not fun, I stopped playing for a while. I've just been on a tear, like pretty much since the beginning of the year, where I have been enjoying Arena, and nothing's really been too egregious to make me stop. And part of it is I love the little starter decks, man. I love the ease of playing with those little starter decks, and that none of them are really too much more broken than the others, so you're going to auto-win. And I play in other things as well, but I like that when I just want to chill and have some Magic fun on a basis that's going to be, like, there's going to be a variety of different decks. Because, like, when you play Standard sometimes, you're only going to see 2 or 3 different decks, and it can be pretty dull. At least with the Starter Challenge, there's 9 other different decks, and the games can go different ways. So I actually vibe on that quite a bit. I like playing in the midweek Magic events. I'll do drafts based on what the sets are. So the things that I do on there change based on what's going on, right? Code, oh, you missed the opportunity to get cards signed by Richard Garfield at the Command Fest? That sucks. Jess, do I make above minimum wage for my time on Fantasy Geographic? No. No, that's what I've said that to Carly. I'm like, all the time I spent working on the Fantasy Geographic videos, bro, you like, I'll put out one of those videos and then YouTube will be like, congratulations, you made $2. And I'm just like, so it is what it is, right? Like the truth is, when it comes to making lore videos for Fantasy Geographic, my brain goes, there's lots of people who support me on the Historian and in other ways. They enjoy what I do. They enjoy that lore. So I just kind of like wrap it all together and just go, if I only, like, everything I do has to make money and whatever, and it has to be like, it has to make, like, however many hours I'm going to spend on it, it has to make X times that in dollars or whatever. Like that's how people end up not wanting to do this. Like, where I was actually talking about that with someone today. Like, people who get into it just for the money will burn out and quit very quickly when they realize how much work you have to put into making videos and how little you actually get paid for them, right? So yeah, it's like when I don't, that's part of the reason when I hated the Thunder Junction lore. I just said, I'm not going to do this anymore because I wasn't digging it, right? I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this, right? And then Bloomburrow comes along and Duskborn comes along with the cool info, and I'm like, I do want to talk about this. Okay, let's go. And even when I didn't want to do the old lore, what did I do? I was still making videos off of the old school books for people. Like, it's just, I can't look at it like I've got to earn a particular hourly wage, right? That will never work. That will never work. I've heard of some streamers and stuff who do that, where they're just like, yo, if I don't make X dollars in this hour, the stream ends, and that's it. And they just have, everybody chooses their own way. But at the end of the day, remember, I started doing this because I like entertaining people, and then people decided to support it with their money. I had people hassle me to set up a Patreon, as opposed to like people I've seen who made a handful of videos and then set up a Patreon and said, look, I made good videos. You guys need to start giving me money. It's a mind-blowing concept to me, right? Like, I had a really weird view. People would send me money on PayPal. I would email them, ask them if they wanted it back, because it's like, I just want to entertain. You don't have to give me anything. And then Buddy from Unsleeved Media, or if you know him from The Quartering or whatever, right? Jeremy. He was really nice to me when I started out. He helped me out. He gave me advice. And I remember like him tossing, like, I couldn't afford my internet bill to keep going for the month of making content. And I was just laughing to him because I had somebody I could talk to who was a creator and saying like how funny it was that people are going, you're a success. And I'm just sitting over there going like, I'm eating a peanut butter sandwich that's one piece of bread folded in half with peanut butter on it, and I can't even afford the extra $20 that my internet bill has gone over because they're charging me overage. So he dumped like $150 in my PayPal, and I remember getting real emotional and responding like, you can't do this, man. You can't just dump that on me. Like, and he's like, no, you don't get to decide how much other people value what you do. And I just sat there for a second and was like, oh, he's got me. He's right. Like, when you hear it and you just go, what's just been said is true. That's just how it goes. So I was like, all right, fair enough, right? And then he's like, now fucking go make some stuff I can watch. And I just went right back to making content and doing what I was doing, right? But at no point along the way have I been like, yo, I've got to get this out of it. All I've ever said to myself is, I'm going to do this until the day I fucking die, regardless. That's the level I'll get to do it on will be determined by how much people enjoy it, and as a result help me out, right? So if I can't make my bills work and take care of Carly, and it means I need to go and get a 9-to-5 job, that's what I'll do. I'm a responsible man. I'm not going to let her suffer. I'm going to make sure she has her medication. I'm going to make sure she has everything that she fucking needs. That's how it's going to go. But that's not the dream world. The dream world is where I just get to entertain you guys for the rest of my life, making videos, live streams. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff on Hatcher. Like, that's the dream. But it's never going to be like, I'm not doing this because you're not giving me X. If I lose my fucking audience down to 10% and it's like only 5 people coming and hanging out, guess who will still be here fucking around and doing this because he loves it? Guess who did it when he only had fucking 2 people coming to the streams, right? Like, there are people who would be super bummed if they had a channel as big as mine and had live streams as small as mine. But I like the cozy fucking affair. I don't need giant numbers. I know how to chase giant numbers. It feels empty and somewhat daunting. So, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll feel differently. But everybody's different. They got to do it their own way. And I don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. You know? It's not gonna help me to have a mentality of you have to give me X or YouTube has to give me X, right? It's not realistic. It's not good for your brain either, as far as I'm concerned. At least not for somebody who wants to crank and have a good time. Hepster, you're in North Bay, Ontario. Oh, I'm in St. Catharines, buddy. I'm in St. Catharines, so not far out of Toronto. Aldini, you haven't played as much Arena as you wanted. I play it like every day. Don't like spending real money on digital stuff either. I'm too old school. A lot of that stuff I won't. Nathan, you haven't made it to the Fantasy Geographic Bloomburrow videos yet. You thought you were going to listen on the road Friday, but spent the whole time in work calls. Well, at least they're waiting for you, and in less than an hour, you'll know the whole story, bro. 100%. 100%. Lewis, no, I don't think they changed the algorithms in Arena to make it better. I just think they've made gems and things like that more accessible and made the overall value proposition for your resources slightly less offensive, right? Code Hatcher Frog cosplay on Bloomburrow release. I don't have a frog costume. Heavy Metal Super Chat says, unofficial wizards would like to support what you do. Who wants a bid war? Oh, Heavy Metal's like, fight me. Fight me for the board. Thanks, Heavy Metal. Appreciate it. Jess, you're asking, did I graduate? Like college or whatever? If that's what you're asking, yeah. I'm a college graduate. I went to school for programming. I did the 3-year program in 2 years because I fucking powered through it. I'm lucky enough that my parents paid for me to go to college when I was younger, but I was ignorant. I was an ignorant fuck, and I didn't finish. I didn't finish college. I only needed 1 credit, and I just didn't get it. Like, when I look back at it, it's like you're yelling at your younger self, like, you're a fucking dickhead. So when my, oh, Nathan taking the board. Nathan says, what's a bid war, Heavy Metal? He says as he prices right some. That's funny. All right, Heavy Metal, you got your wish. Nathan has joined the battle. That made me forget what I was saying. So, when my life fell apart and I moved back from Toronto to like live with my parents, I said to them like, "Yo, I'm gonna go back to school. Basically, I'm gonna go and get a college education." And this was code. Code says buy one. Oh, fancy boy, with the winky face. With the winky face, you're the new lord of the board. All right. So yeah, I came back and was like, yo, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna see if there are programs or whatever, but I'm basically gonna get like a student loan and go to school. And I asked if they'd be willing to help me out with books, and they were really cool and were like, well, actually, we're gonna help you with everything. So they paid for me to go to school, which is way more than I deserve, honestly. My parents have been exceedingly nice to me. Like, I've been very lucky. They both grew up poor, and my dad worked his ass off constantly to provide for my family, and he did an amazing job. And my parents gave me a lot when I was like, I wasn't spoiled. I was just spoiled enough to be an entitled dick who wouldn't finish college or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the mind state was that caused that. I have no idea if it was somehow fear-based or whatever. I don't know what led me to do what I did. Maybe it was I didn't want to grow up and enter the adult world. Who fucking knows? Who knows what a dumb kid's thinking, especially when you're as old as I am now, right? So I don't know exactly what was going on with my head, but either way, they said that they would help me out, and I finished my college education, and I was basically supplying singles to the game store and just getting by, just getting by. And that's what I decided I wanted to keep doing. I'm like, well, I just want to like run Magic tournaments and sell Magic cards and stuff if I can do that. So that's what I did. And that's what led to this channel, which was originally just to tell people who came to the game store, standards rotated, change your deck, right? And I didn't do this, rotate the standards changed, so change your decks and like stuff like that. Or the store is going to be having this event going on, so make sure you come in. That's all it was for. And then I did a random video that ended up bringing a ton of people in from outside who subscribed and got the channel noticed by more, and then it just kind of went like that. And I embraced it being what it is, right? So, Juglum, you always thought I'd make bank being a bartender? Oh, bro, tips and drunk titties. Why didn't I think of that? Lewis, bacon sandwiches, hell yeah! Ashmead, how you doing, bro? Oh, Nathan talking that shit. He's like, yo, where'd Heavy Metal go? He said he wanted to fight. Nathan talking that smack. He's like, if you want to fight, I'll fight you. But I'm going to talk that shit. That's funny. It's funny that this culture evolved on its own. I'm very glad that it did. I gotta say. Fucking great. It's great. Oh, there's Heavy Metal. Unofficial Wizards would like to cordially say, fight me, motherfuckers. All right. I guess he was just winding his fist up. All right. Heavy Metal as the spokesperson for Wizards has said, fight me, motherfuckers. Code says, I went too high the other night. I can't fight this one. That's true. You know what, buddy? You made it in. You made it in. You got your first entry in the Box of Glory. And don't worry, you're getting in fights with people who are literally already on the roll of Mega Glory. Nathan and Heavy Metal have both, see right down here, there's Heavy Metal. They are both already won multiple championship titles. So don't feel bad that you don't want to get tangled up in this one. Not any further. Lewis Hatcher was the first channel, then the Historian. Yep. Yeah. Funnily enough, actually, with the Hatcher channel, people from outside found the channel as well, but I deleted everything on that channel because I didn't want people around. I was depressed. I didn't want strangers around. And also, I think subconsciously, I would avoid anything that would make me think that I'm actually not funny and entertaining, because that shit was like, it's core to my being. And so I think that there was a subconscious part of me that actively avoided anything that would push against that. There was people, I was in an improv class once because my girlfriend got it for me, and it was like, okay, we'll do that. That'll be fun. I'll do that. And I went and did it. And there was a guy who was like, yo, you're hilarious. Come do stand-up with me. And I just always made excuses and never went when I totally could have and should have, right? So I think that Hatcher got deleted out of a subconscious trying to protect myself. And this one didn't, luckily. And then after, I mean, I know I'm fucking hilarious. I know I'm entertaining. People don't support people on this level unless they're bringing something worthwhile to the fucking table. I know it rock solid. Speaking of rock solid, Nathan's fat ass super chat says, since you're apparently Wizards today, know that I hate what you've done to the game lately. That's funny. I hate you. I hate what you've done with the place. The Hepster, what is the Box of Glory you want in? Here's how it works. Whoever is Lord of the Board at the end of the stream, they are the champion of that stream. So what happens is, inside, we will have, like, they're the art cards, and then on the back you got your name. You got your name written on it, right? So basically it's got the date, your name, and like random different stats about the stream, depending, right? Like, oh, this was a Canada stream or whatever. But anyways, your name is immortalized on an art card in the Box of Glory. And once you get 5, your name is added to the roll of Mega Glory. Because everybody, like, the thing is, this fighting for the board stuff, I didn't come up with that. It just randomly happened. Like, the chat just decided, yo, this is what we're doing. And it's been enshrined like ever since. That's like everybody else decided this is how they want to do it. So I'm like, well, if people are going to be battling it out, I should acknowledge the victor, right? To make that champion feel that much better. And on top of that, it is very awesome to me, especially when I was feeling low. I would open this up and I would look at all the different streams that we had a good time, right? And this isn't even every stream, because I have had similar, like, the precursor to the Box of Glory was 2 different tomes. So this was the Tome of Champions Deluxe, right? And in it, we have magic cards, right? With people's names written on them. So that was the previous step. But art cards are so much better because you've got the glorious art on the front and then you've got the people's names on the back. So I keep a list of everybody's name in a book too, where I keep everyone's name in the little mystical pizza book so that I can keep track of when they get up to 5 wins so that they go on the roll of Mega Glory. this up to date. Keep it up to date, baby. So yeah, like for example, code 936 has recently gotten into the box. So he's already got his first of 5. Heavy Metal coming back saying, Wizards appreciate your dedication to our baby and your hatred for what we've done to the game. It allows us to recklessly spend money as we see fit. Hamster says, my YouTube's connected to my wife's credit card. She might be pissed when she wakes up in the morning and sees what I drop. Bro, you know what, man? There have been a few people who legitimately, their wife saw the charges and they thought, like, they didn't believe them when they said, oh, like, I did that with the Magic Historian. They thought it was like some internet hooker or something, you know, something along those lines, right? So that's hilarious. It's like, be careful, your wife might think that you're like OnlyFans or something, right? Like, who is the skank? And then you'd be like, this fucking guy? I don't know. I wish it was a skank. Nathan, there was a tower. Yeah, we were gluing things together. That didn't work out too well. It was ill planned. It was ill planned. Oh, Nathan coming right back. To be fair, I appreciate all the shit Wizards does in that it keeps Perp busy. It does give me stuff to talk about. That's true. Well, Heavy Metal, you wanted a fight. And you are clearly getting one. Nathan came to swing heavy dongs. Ash Reed says, the wives were right. You're the internet hooker skank. Yo, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, fool. What up, Larry? All right. Nathan, lording that board. The battle is true and well. What is it? Well and truly joined? Is that it? That's the phrase, I think. Yeah, that's so poor, man. This is. Oh, that's funny. Ashmead says, that makes us your degenerate Johns. I make you feel good, you give me money, and we do it late in the night. So I guess you're right. I have loved you long time, right? Oh, Heavy Metal's still going. It's saying Wizards Bank hasn't flagged this as a fraudulent purchase yet. So we, this unofficial dude with 2 parrots, would like to continue this engagement. The throwdown continues. This is a fat donged battle. This is one for the ages. A titanic dong slapping night between Nathan and Wizards of the Coast's parrot representative. He's only here to parrot the corporate line. All right. I officially endorse this battle. I officially endorse this fight. It is sanctioned by me with a big fat thumbs up. Jess says, this is getting ridiculous. You damn right it is. You are correct. It is. Its ridiculosity has definitely increased. But hey, I'm all right with ridiculousness. Breakstop says, good luck explaining the charges if your wife busts in on me during a Hatsune Miku clip. That's what this deserves. Yeah. Domo Arigato Super Chat Roboto. Hatsune Miku, love the money. Thank you, sweet papa. Yeah. Oh, you make Hachu so excited she must put on a helmet before we make a hump. I think that's my favorite one. Before we make hump. I like, for real. Breakstop, is that what you meant when you think I'm in decline, bro? You talk about my channel being in decline? Is it because of that? I should have been showing those during the super chat fucking battle. Jugglem, don't even pretend, man. I know that you're such a Miku fan that you're secretly fucking hard for Hatsune Miku, and you wish that you got to see the Hump Hump helmet in person, bro. Ashmead says heavy metals on 2-week training deployment and forgot to turn his channel off, and it's his parrot super chatting. That's hilarious. Scorpageist, you saw a costume of a parrot with a pirate on his shoulder? That's fun. Oh shit, Nathan says doubling season. My credit card doesn't flag these as fraudulent. We've tested this before. All right, Nathan going in fucking hard. This is I believe the most titanic battle of 2024, isn't it? I don't think we've seen one this hot and heavy this year. I don't think we've seen fat dongitude swinging of this magnitude in a while. The skies are fucking thundering. The lightning is peeling. This is the kind of stream that you guys are responsible for. Like, there's people who have come to my streams that I like met in real life who are like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel because I saw that people give you money for writing their name on a board. And I'm just like, okay, best of luck. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having a good time, you know? Like, because I don't think it's going to turn out that way for you. And then they end up quitting because they got into it because they're excited for the money. Holy fucking shit. Heavy Metal says, I respect doubling season. He just fucking, good God. You guys are maniacs. Heavy Metal wanted to fight and he came ready to fight. Damn. Nathan and fucking Heavy Metal swinging hard. Hey, Nathan, it's all good, man. Remember, the times are what they are, my man. They are what they are. There you go. Now you got people in the chat yelling, holy fuck, because it's gone wild. It's gone wild. You see it here. Wizards of the Coast, unofficial spokesman, ain't stepping back. He ain't stepping down. Scorpa guy says, the Calamity Beasts have been unleashed. Indeed. Indeed. Hepster, you can't beat that, but if I give you honorable mention on the Box of Glory, I'll give you 69 because it's hilarious. There's an easier solution, bro. Most nights aren't this hot and heavy. Just show up to another stream and dominate the board. That's it. You can get in for less, or you can just do a 69 and intimidate. You can intimidate others. Hell, fucking Code 1 2 nights ago specifically was 69. So we're gonna keep the rules the way they are, right? I appreciate the offer. It's very generous. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it, but I gotta respect the Lords of the Boards and how it's done. Some people have gotten into the Lord of the Board box on a $2 ride. So if you bide your time or just flex nuts on another night, you can totally get in. Heavy Metal says, I likely didn't hit the weekly limit yet. You're going to bump up against YouTube's limits because there's only so much they'll let you do in a day. And the only way to win after that is to switch over to fucking PayPal, right? Like, there's literally that upper threshold. We've had that happen before. Sometimes people will do, like, I've seen people do a basic block maneuver where they're like, I'm going to do a $500 super chat straight out of the gate because that's the most YouTube will let you do in one day. I don't know if they've changed that, but that's what it was. And so they knew if they did 500, nobody could do 501 or whatever. And then someone's like, I'll just beat you through PayPal, bitch. Like, because the fight is real. Larry says, holy shit, I've never seen anyone super chat this amount of money before. We've literally got fucking Godzilla versus Kong right here. I told you, this is one for the ages, right? Nathan, still $500 daily limit. I knew it. I knew it was still probably going to be the same, man. I didn't think they would have upped it. It makes sense. It makes sense why they want to limit stuff like that. They don't want to have problems, and I don't think they anticipated people getting into little battles for the board. Graw! Heavy Metal says, Nathan probably makes more than me. I'm just a single 42-year-old dude on vacation who's been very blessed. Well, thanks for sharing your blessings with me and having a fun battle with Nathan, buddy. I appreciate it. Definitely is fun to watch the epic level battles unfold. You're not the only one who's been very fucking blessed. I am super lucky to get to do what I do and have a bunch of people who genuinely enjoy it. That was enough for me. I remember when I started, my dream was that one day I could make $100 a month from YouTube to help me not be as poor, and so I could buy some groceries. That's what I remember saying to Carly, how dope would it be if I could entertain people and make $100 a month? Like, how amazing would that be? And then so many people came by to have an awesome time enjoying my channel memberships and Patreons and buy stuff using my links and super chat me and all this fucking stuff. And now I literally get to do this as my job, where even on days where I'm sick, I'm like, no, I want to go and stream. It makes me feel better. It makes my fucking day better, right? And it doesn't matter. It's not like everyone has to be some big epic fucking banger, right? Like I said, there are people who get into the box on $2. Other streamers would be pissed about that. I'm just happy I had a good time fucking hanging out. There are people who literally ridicule people who only do $2 super chats. I value all of it, from the smallest to the biggest. I say thank you fucking always, because it's amazing. Like, everyone's got different lives and different levels, and oh, fucking Jesus, Bo, you maniac! He's not taking the board. He's doing 211, saying, good job, guys. You are great. Congrats, Wizards of the Coast. He's literally that's Bo's flex. He's like, I just want you to know, I could beat you, but I'm going to let you win, because I like what you did. I like your style. Bo, you fucking class act. That's beautiful. Mark says, I double dog dare someone to do 500. Bet nobody has the balls. They've already all done super chats, man. 500 is the limit cumulatively, not just for one chat. Like, 500 is all you can do in one day. So basically nobody can do that, right? Based on very simple math. So yeah, man, like, I am more emotionally stable than I used to be. Before, I would like break down in fucking tears over this stuff. Instead, I'm just suffused with gratitude and a desire to continue to do the best that I can. Because I know that on top of the monetary like assistance that I get, the donations, the gifts, the loveliness, I know that there are people who are having hard times in their lives. And just having a bit of a distraction helps them. Yo, you know what? I can go and hang out in a Hatcher stream. Or, hey, he's going to put out a video. We'll talk about Magic for 15 minutes, and I don't have to think about the hard stuff that's going on in my life, right? Some people I've helped quit smoking from my quitting smoking journey. So this has been rewarding on a number of different levels. I very much appreciate that your guys' support means that I get to do this as my job, and I can stream as much as I want, whenever I want. I'm looking forward to getting back to more breakfast streams, because Carly pointed out to me, I was like, I wonder why I stopped doing so many breakfast streams. And I realized it's because of the throat problems that I was having. And I was having a really hard time swallowing while I was eating properly. And sometimes it would mean I'd have to go and throw up. And I didn't want to come to the streams and have to deal with that feeling and like all of it. And so without realizing it, I was just kind of avoiding doing it. I'm looking forward to doing more of those streams, because I love fucking spending time doing this with you guys. It's awesome. Zircon says it's approaching pickle territory. Shut up, man. No. Nathan says, yeah, I tried for 414 and it wouldn't let me, and my PayPal app wants me to identify endless bicycles to log in. That's worth it. I'm just going to put it out there. It's worth it to win the board. All you got to do is click on some bicycles. Don't give up now. Don't give up now. I could have more money. Maybe fucking... Did you think that maybe Heavy Metal wants to keep fighting and you'll be ruining his night? Just tap them bicycles. Hebster said, that escalated quickly. Here's what I can in reality do. Well, thanks for the 69 plus 9, bro. I appreciate the $6.99. And like I said, there are other nights and days to get into the box of glory. Oh, Nathan flexing again. Look at this. He's Price is writing heavy metal by $1 saying heavy metal needs his name on the board, not Wizards. All right. Interesting play. Heavy metal, you have had your name forcibly put on the board by your opponent. Dun dun dun. In a twist. Move. Unexpected. You're not the only one who can ask for different names. Juan, what's the name of my Magic Lore channel? It's called Fantasy Geographic. Oh, Bo Falcon with the link. There's a link to it right there. Bo Falcon has lovingly shared it for your enjoyment. Oh, Felonious T, I am going to get like a diamond-studded butt plug that vibrates when you get super chats. And so, wait, that doesn't, no. Yeah, we'll see. Will the Magic Historian get butt blasted for super, wait a minute, that does not sound right at all. Felonious T, those exist. Nathan's like, I'll stop. I will stop. Don't worry, man. I don't have a plan to put any vibrating things in my butt based on super chats. That has never been a thing for me, but that does exist. There are ladies out there on the internet who have that going on. It's pretty wild. I'd rather tickle your funny bone than your flesh bone. You know what I'm saying? Ashmead, I control my haters by clipping these super battles together into a video and uploading it titled Suck at YouTube. I don't even care, man. Like, honestly, here's the thing. The fans who enjoy me, I'm incredibly grateful for. The people who hate me, guess what? I'm making their day better too, because I'm giving them something to bitch about, which brings them joy. And it doesn't negatively impact me, so I just fucking win. And when those people complain, there will be some people who go, oh, I got to see what they're talking about. And a bunch will just go, he's just whatever, who cares? And some people actually go, yo, I like this. So if they want to advertise from me, bro, people complain about things that exist. I exist, baby, right? I don't need any of it. I don't got to prove anything to anybody. I'm content with what I'm doing. I'm super fucking happy. And who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I used to feel like I needed a YouTube plaque because I really wanted to feel like I was an entertainer, because it's always been my dream to be a comedian, to be an entertainer, to make people happy like that. And I've always done it on a small scale with individuals, but I've never done it on a larger scale and more capacity. So I wanted that 100,000 plaque to prove to myself, check it out, right? And now with the level of like everything that's happened, like I've been doing this for years. I've been able to support me and Carly for years, right? Like, so there's no doubt, there's no question. I already have the experience of it. I know for a fact I have what it takes to be an entertainer, because I've been a fucking professional one for years now. For years. That's amazing. Like, I've been a professional entertainer longer than I ever worked at any individual call center or pretty much any place that I've worked. So, Heavy Metal says, please check your PayPal. Okay, I will. Good sir. Just one moment. That's probably why my phone, I took it off, like I took my watch off because it was vibrating a second ago, so I missed it. That's probably what was making it happen. Oh! All right. Heavy Metal! Let's see here. Oh, he's taking the board back in the name of Wizards of the Coast with 280, you fucking maniac. You maniac. Heavy Metal says Wizards is on track to win 2 Lord of the Boards. As the voice of the faceless, I cordially appreciate Nathan's tenacity. However, please give Jess the board as he deserved it a few nights ago. Oh, fuck Wizards of the Coast. Jess! Jess! You are Lord of the Board, big boy. You are Lord of the Board. And nobody's going to dislodge that. Nobody's going to dislodge that. Nathan says, has to be a single super chat for the pickle. Correct. We've been hanging on to that 450. We established that when you were here. And I still have it on my desk until one day I just pitch it. And I'll be like, I escaped it. I escaped it. All right. All right. Jess says, you should go to 1 a.m. for the extra more money. I'm sure that the combatants have decided that the battle is over. I don't think that Nathan or Heavy Metal intend to carry this any further this evening. The fact that he put your name on the board signals to me that he considers this conclusive, and I believe that Nathan has also concluded his side of the battle. I've witnessed a number of these dust-ups over the years, and you get a sense for these things, especially since we have arrived at the time that a stream normally would wrap up. However, I mean, if the combatants do need a little more time for fighting, I'm willing to be magnanimous and stick around a little bit longer. I know that Carly's playing Moonstone Island, so she's not going to immediately be like, where is Mike? But I imagine with the addition of your name to the board, and Nathan probably not wanting to boot you off after that gesture from Heavy Metal, that we have concluded who has won this evening, right? And you know, since it's been a big fancy boy royal one right here, this is what we're going to use, right? This is me. I'm the little goblin. And I together, we raise our glasses. Jess, you get to be on this card, big boy. Bo Falcon says, I could still snipe it if I wanted, but it's still a good night to call it. You're right. You could, but I presumed since you already flew directly below on the previous one that you weren't really looking. I know you can flex hard enough to take it too, Bo. So if you want the extra time, you're allowed to give me that money. But I know that's not what you want to do tonight. All right. Hello and goodbye, none of the above. Nathan says, I'm going to let you go give Carly a hug. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. This has been a hell of a stream. All right. So thanks for coming out for the big epic mega battle to end out our Bloomburrow discussion. This has been a very good stream indeed. I can say that for sure. Now I'm going to go eat some potato chips and chocolate. Good night, my friends. I will see you next times.